Hello constant viewer, this is Belladonna Dinardo. We're going to be taking a little break from the Arkham Observer to bring you our first outing into the world of deadly weapons with Arkham Armory. With numerous unholy abominations afoot, some of them featuring tentacles, one can never be too prepared. As my father once said after escaping the clutches of that damned fish monster, stay strapped or get clapped.
Oh no.
Before we delve into the weapons implementation in the Arkham Nightmare series, let us take a quick foray into the Patriot's real-world counterpart, the M1911. A few rules may vary between the two realms. Why, with your world apparently devoid of many of the tentacles that keep me up at night clutching my bed sheets, but it should give us a good baseline by which to predicate our musings. The M1911 was unsurprisingly created in the year 1911. The pistol was designed by legendary madman and all-around gun guru John Moses Browning, who was also responsible for the Winchester 1892 rifle, the Browning automatic rifle, and that really cool shotgun the Terminator used to spin cock with one hand.
I wouldn't do that.
Pretty sure we're going to be reviewing one of those soon, constant viewer. Anyway, as Europe hurtled towards World War I, many of the weapons being fielded by British and later American forces were antiquated even for the time. Rifles had gotten a handy upgrade with the innovation of more streamlined bullets that could travel faster and further, but handguns were falling behind. Revolvers had become the mainstay in the handgun world, offering a combination of large caliber projectiles and a reliable platform, but they were low capacity and slow to reload. There had been numerous attempts at creating reliable semi-automatic handguns to replace these Old West big irons, but those presented their own challenges in the field. Unreliable mechanisms paired with smaller, less powerful ammunition made the prospect of relying on these semi-auto pistols daunting for soldiers during war. And many of the rifles being used were still bolt action, making them outstanding for long-range engagements, but leaving troops vulnerable when the fighting got too close. Pistols were usually favored in an up-close defensive capacity after all, and this is where early 20th century handguns were lacking. Until John Browning's M1911 rolled up and said, "Where's my money?"
Oh my God! Yeah, that's what happens. Where's my money? You gonna give me my money? Where's my money, man?
Having already cut his teeth designing the M1903 in 9mm, John Browning stepped up the power of his new handgun with the introduction of his very own proprietary cartridge, the 45 ACP. At the time, the United States military was looking for a new service handgun in .45 caliber that could match the power of larger revolvers in a semi-automatic platform. Funnily enough, America's insistence on this particular designation of diameter would lend a certain aura to the 45. This association between the measurement of a bullet and American patriotism would eventually lead to the 45 being given the label God's caliber, which is endearing, but also what the kids call cringe when they are on the tick-tock. To this day, there are still people who won't touch a 9mm due to its supposed inferiority to the 45, which is just silly.
45 ACP. It's like 9mm, but for men.
Now, since the M1911 was the official military sidearm until 1985, I suppose we could foray into its service in World War II as well as the Korean War and Vietnam, but time is a fleeting thing, and we haven't even touched upon its otherworld alter ego, the Patriot. So this is where you'll have to stick by me, constant viewer. I'm going to need you to suspend your disbelief as we delve into Arkham Nightmare's version of the 1911. Logic and physics can be a tad fickle in Arkham, you see, and... What the bloody hell? Didn't even know that was still working. Hold on. Hello, Belladonna Dinardo speaking.
Oh my God, are you doing a Patriot review?
Well, I was trying to.
Oh my God, I love the M1911, even more than the Browning High Power. Why didn't you call me?
Probably, because I don't know who you are.
Oh, that's right, you're stuck in the torrid zone. I almost forgot. I'm stuck in a steampunk factory. Long story, doesn't matter. Name's Arcadia, but everyone calls me Cade. At least they did before getting ground to pieces by a giant brass colossus with a gear for a heart.
Sounds like a rough time, Cade.
Good news is they died pretty fast, but I've been stuck over here with, nothing to do. So I was wondering if I can help with your review. I'm kind of a tech nerd, and I'm crazy about Arkham nightmares. Do you think Mark's dead?
What?
What?
Well, I suppose sharing the load would be the charitable thing to do. Please, elucidate us on the finer aspects of the Patriot and how it differentiates from the M1911. Let's just get the music playing again. This silence is deafening once you notice it. That's much better. Okay, take it away, Arcadia.
Oh, thanks. This is going to be fun. So the most important thing to recognize about the Patriot compared to the M1911 is that the former has been nerfed. The M1911 was a well-known man-stopper capable of bodying someone in a single shot. But if you watch the Patriot in action, it's clearly not as effective. This is kind of speculation on my part, but it either comes down to some form of realm balancing, or the average enemy in the Arkham Nightmares universe is just tougher than a regular person. For this one, your guess is as good as mine. I've created a spreadsheet containing all of Mark's combat encounters with the so-called Pretenders, and it seems that on average, they can withstand 2 shots to the head, or as many as 4 to the torso or other extremities. This is much more than I'd expect anyone to survive with a genuine 1911. And since I haven't managed to capture a Pretender for observation, we have to assume the Arkham Nightmares realm simply nerfs God's caliber into something more akin to a demigod.
Oh my, isn't that God's caliber nonsense just silly? I'm sure a good old 9mm would do just as fine.
Wow. Okay, give me a warning before dropping a bomb like that. I didn't know I'd be dealing with 9mm apologetics today. This crazy idea that 9mm can hold a candle to God's caliber is really problematic. I don't care what ballistics data the FBI came to by shooting blocks of Jell-O. I don't trust anything associated with Jell-O. Remember, a 9mm expands, but 45 doesn't shrink. And for that matter, bullets like the 9mm that rely on expansion to deliver their ballistics payload might not have the desired effect on a Pretender. We don't know anything about their biology, and I've never seen one bleed. They may not be mainly comprised of liquid the way humans are, and if that's the case, all you're doing with a 9mm is punching a really small hole into whatever they are. If it takes God's caliber as many as 4 shots to down one of these things, I wouldn't be surprised if trying to stop one with a 9 would spend all 15 rounds from your fancy double-stack magazine. Why have more of an inferior caliber?
Oh, well, why indeed? Anyhow, it's been great having you, Arcadia. I really do need to get going, however. I swore I saw something tentacle-shaped in the garden earlier, and I'm going to go blast it before a little problem turns into a big problem. Cheers!
Just make sure to blast it with something bigger than a 9mm. Those tentacles never know when to quit.
Oh, you have them in your dimension too.
They're like ants at a picnic. Watch your back, Belladonna.
Well, that will just about wrap things up for our debut episode of Arkham Armory. We'll be getting around to all of your favorite deadly weapons in due time, constant viewer, but until then, stay strapped, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments section. Are you on board with God's caliber, or are you a filthy 9mm apologist? We're going to have some earth-shaking updates for the channel coming any day now, so look forward to that. The world of Arkham Nightmares is about to become a lot more hectic, let me assure you. Now about those damn tentacles.